be funny if like the lies that you made up for me are actually true, though.
It could be.
Because what do we do if that?
I'd be really interested to find that out. So
Then we're geniuses and mind readers. All right.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
all right. So which of these is true about Lonny? He speaks French. He is allergic to avocados, or he is trained in parkour.
Lonny speaks French.
Is that right?
Yeah. Do I? Yeah, that's right.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Oui.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
see.
it. Yeah, I took school in French, and there's like a French immersion program in Canada where you can take school in French. So kindergarten to grade 12, I did it all in French.
Really?
Whoa, I only did 4 years of it. That's impressive.
And it kind of worked out. At the time, I'm like, I'm never going to need this. Why am I doing this? And then a few years ago, I married a Moroccan. My wife is Moroccan, and her family only speaks French. They don't even know
That's
English.
amazing.
So when I'm in Morocco hanging out with them, it's all in French. So I'm forever thankful that I know French, you know, and I'm not the best at it. I try my best, but I can hold the conversation. So it kind of worked out.
Je m'appelle Heather. That's all I got.
Je m'appelle Lonny.
I had the same kind of experience where like I was like, I don't know when I'm ever going to use this. I had like a friend that speaks it, and then I met a bunch of refugees, like some were from Senegal and Somalia and Algeria, and I was like, oh shit, I can actually talk to these people. This is fucking cool. Yeah, it's
Totally.
Yeah, hooray!
Yay,
Yeah.
French.
It really makes you appreciate, like, you know, like let's say you're in your own country and there's like an immigrant who English is their second language, and it really makes you appreciate the effort they had to take to learn another language, you know, living abroad or traveling abroad. Like when I'm in France and it's all in French, and I try my best, but it's tough, and it really makes you appreciate people who can learn a second language like that. It's a big skill to acquire. It takes a lot of practice.
Definitely. All right. Okay, here's the second one, Maddie. Here we go. All right.
Okay, here we go.
Does Lonny do Tai Chi? Can he make his own salad dressing? Or was the first band he ever saw play live the band Ween?
Oh, that number 3 just seems very specific. That it would be tough to be a lie. But I've seen Lonny make food on Instagram stories. I've never seen any Tai Chi, so I think 1's out of the question. I'm gonna say number 2. He can make his own salad dressing.
Lonny?
That's true. I make a mean salad dressing.
Wow.
There we go.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's damn good.
Is it what type of dressing is it?
Caesar.
Ooh.
Caesar. Ooh.
Oh, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Man.
About the food thing on Instagram, I always used to be like, I hate when people do that. It's like considered a sin to post food on Instagram. You know what I mean? There's like, you hear about a lot. But lately, it's like, I just kind of been enjoying making meals, and it's kind of sort of like an art form in a sense of making it look all pretty on the dish. So I'm like, I'm just going to share this on my story, and people can unfollow me if they want. I don't really care.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I
exactly.
feel like it's very appropriate to share things on Instagram that are food related, especially if you made them.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
look, I'm proud of this thing that I did. I'm absolutely fine with that. Please do.
Yeah. A restaurant might be different, but whatever you want to share is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like if you're a foodie, which is the thing that people are into, it's like you can be into music, you can be into food, you can be into sports. If you're a foodie, then you'll appreciate a nice looking dish of whatever it is.
Sculptures and salad dressing. All right. That's the name of Maddie's next single. All right, Danica, you want to read the third one?
All right. So, which of these is true? Lonny fell off the stage and got 5 stitches in his head, or is a certified dog trainer, or can't make grilled cheese without burning it.
Oh, as I was just like, yeah, he makes food and he makes his own salad dressing. I feel like it'd be a trick to then say he can't make grilled cheese, So I'm trying to think of all of your stories that I've seen, and I've never heard anything about the stitches. I know food, but usually your food is good. I'm going to go with number 2 and say that you're a certified dog trainer.
No.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's number 1. Yeah.
So you have to tell us about what happened.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah. So this was in 2016. I was on tour with an artist named Sean Hook, good friend of mine, and we were opening for Lindsay Starling, who is a violinist. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we did a U.S. tour with her. It was amazing. We did 6 weeks, and we did the States. And so this show was in New York at Hammerstein Ballroom, beautiful venue. It was one of the ones we were all looking forward to the most on the tour. He had a lot of label executives there and stuff like that. Managers flew out to see the show, and basically, it was one of those kind of shows where it's a open floor, the venue, and then they build the stage that morning with like risers, like squares that they put next to each other. For whatever reason, on the very side, they were missing a square. So there was created just like a 5 by 5 foot hole in the stage, like 6 foot drop onto concrete. Nobody told us that there was this. It wasn't marked off with caution tape or anything. So we walk out. Pitch black at the start of the show, right? You can't see anything. There's usually like a guy with a flashlight, and there wasn't, and nobody told us anything. So everyone's like, "Yeah, Sean Hook," and we walk out, boom, right down into the hole. I land on the concrete, bust my knee, like I couldn't move my shoulder for like weeks. I was walking with a limp, and yeah, so I'm in total shock. I open my eyes, just instant pain, blood everywhere. Which I didn't even realize because it was so dark. But like, yeah, people like come and meet me. They're like, "Oh my God, what just happened?" And they're like shining a flashlight on me. And it turns out like I had a concussion. There was blood all over the place. They rushed me off to the hospital, and I got 5 stitches on my head, and it was terrible. And yeah, it was one of the worst things really ever. But it makes for a good story.
It sure does. It sure does.
You're definitely not alone. There are plenty of very, very impressive musicians who have had that same problem.
Yeah, it was like my only time ever riding in an ambulance, like to the emergency, which was kind of a rush. But yeah, it was nuts. So number 1 is true.
Oh,
good Lord.
But we wish it was the grilled cheese one. All right, there's 2 more. All right, here we go. Here's the next one. Does Lonny have a foreign coin collection? Did he get into a fender bender with Dennis Leary? Or does he prefer the top bunk over the bottom bunk?
That's funny.
I love seeing Matt's face as he's reading these. Like,
I know, I'm so like, okay, this.
You really want to do well.
Yeah. I mean, you live in Canada, so if you have coins on you, they're foreign. So does that count? You know, that I don't know if that counts. So Dennis Leary. No, I think it's 3. Top bunk over the bottom bunk on tour.
That's right. I'm a top bunk kind of guy. I like the sway of the top. You know, you go around those corners, you get a good sway. It rocks you to sleep.
That's funny. I like the bottom bunk. So, but a lot of people like the top. So on this last tour, which was on this most recent tour 7 years ago before the pandemic or whatever. No, but they were all like, "Okay, Maddie, you're the new guy, so you get the bottom bunk." And I was like. And I didn't want it like obvious that I liked the bottom bunk. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'll take it. You know, so it was great. They thought it was like initiation and something, but I like the bottom bunk.
Jokes on them.
Yeah, jokes. Because if you ever watch, I don't know, maybe you're better at this, but I love watching the people crawl into the top bunks on a tour bus.
It's tough.
It's like Spider-Man stuff. And you do have to be trained in parkour. So maybe you're.
Why do you think my arms are so ripped? You know, from all that climbing into the top.
I just kind of like, yeah. I'm like, oh, there's my bunk. Done.
The bottom, you just roll in.
You roll in and you roll out. Literally, you do like a tumble roll out, and you're like,
that sounds like more my speed.
Yeah, that's definitely. I'm not athletic enough. If they put me in the top bunk, I don't even know if I'd be able to get in there on tour. Like,
it's a challenge, you know. But what's nice though is like if you keeping stuff in your bunk, like let's say you have like, I don't know, like your in-ear monitors. Like I keep mine in my bunk. Right. So it's like if I need to grab them, it's like eye level and I can just reach my hand in. Whereas if you're trying to get something from your bunk in the bottom, you gotta like get on your hands and knees on the floor, and it's like a huge production so I mean, not that any of this really matters, but
this is very important. All right.
The life of a touring
musician. Tour soon. Take note.
All right. Yeah, right.
Maybe I'll go bottom next time. I don't know. Maybe I'll see what all the hype's about. I'll take the bottom and I'll text you and I'll be like, damn you, Matt. Like, the bottom sucks.
I'll be like, dude, I can't even get in my bunk.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping in the back lounge. Yeah.
Then we'll have to trade. I'll play for Avril, you play for Black Veil.
There we
Just so
go.
we can have
Oh,
the
that'd
box we want.
Oh, we didn't want to reveal this yet, but that's actually happening. No, I'm just kidding.
You heard it here, guys. All right, Danica, this is Lonnie's last and final one.
Lonnie's. All right. So, has he never been inside a Subway sandwich shop? Has performed at the grand opening of a gold mine? Or was a high school arm wrestling champion?
He was talking about his arms earlier, so maybe. Yeah.
My arms aren't that big, okay? I was just joking.
I don't know, but maybe you say that now you're backtracking because you don't want me to know that you won your arm wrestling champion.
You didn't know me in high school.
That's true. I'm gonna say you've never been inside a Subway sandwich shop.
No, I have. That's my go-to on tour. I'm a big Subway guy.
The gold mine.
Yeah.
Right. That's crazy. I gotta know about that.
Well, like, you know how as a musician you occasionally play like random gigs, just at like random events, you know? Like this was one of them. There was a gold mine that opened up in Kamloops, British Columbia. And got hired to play there with an artist, buddy of mine named Paul
Very
Phillip.
important follow-up question. Was it 1835 and are you a time traveler?
No, it was probably like 2012 or something. What's funny, it was like up in this mountain on the outskirts of town, like way up in this mountain. It was super dusty. Like I had to wipe down all my gear after because it got really gross and dusty. And then as we were leaving, like we played the show, we packed up and we left. It went really well. They didn't pay us in gold. They paid us in money, but all was well. So we're like trying to find our way out of the mine. And we went further up into the mountain and we're like trying to find the exit. We couldn't. And there's like dead roads everywhere. And then we get a call from the guy organizing the event. He's like, "Hey, are you guys that van that's up in the mountain?" And we're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Get out of there. There's like landfills out there. We're doing blasting. Like you guys might run over a bomb at any minute." And we're like, "Oh my God." So we had to like slowly backtrack at like 1 mile an hour our way out of there. So we got back to the stage area and luckily we lived to tell the tale.
So you did.
Performed inside the mine itself?
Oh, it was right next to it.
Okay.
So like the mine was it was a huge hole in the ground, like a giant hole. Like you couldn't even really see the bottom. It was like massive. There was like a stage just to the side of it, and they were like selling hot dogs and stuff like that.
Hot dogs at the gold mine, of course they are.
Yeah,
it
was an event. It was really fun to play at. That was a good time.
That's awesome. Well, Maddie, you did pretty good. You got 3 out of 5. But now we're switching things up. So, So now, Lonnie, you have to tell us which of these is true for Maddie. Here we go. Number 1. Does he never lose at a claw machine? Was he a district manager of a chain of Starbucks? Or did he help Bill Nye shop for wood stain?
Wow, these are all fascinating. Well, let's eliminate here. So I don't think anybody's ever won at the claw machine. Like it's like so to never lose would be amazing. I would worship you if that were true. Let's see. I guess I'll go district manager of a chain of Starbucks. You know, you like coffee, so if I'd say maybe that was a place you'd worked at in the past.
So that's your answer? Okay. Maddie?
Number 3, Bill Nye, the Science Guy.
Bill,
remember?
Bill.
I think you know this. Remember in Burbank, I used to work at the hardware store.
Okay.
So there were a lot of people, a lot of celebrities that would come in. So I met a lot of people that maybe people aren't interested in that I think are like awesome. But for some reason, the Bill Nye one always gets people like, "Oh my God, you met Bill Nye." So
that is so cool.
Yeah,
what
he was shopping.
Staining?
His deck at his house. So he had like a color. So he had the stain, and then he had like the protectant and sealant on top. And it was funny because he was like, "Hey, is this what I need to seal my deck after I color it?" And the color was water based, but he grabbed like the oil based color, and I felt so weird because I told Bill Nye, "Oh, you need this one," and I was treating it like any other customer. And I'm like, "No, you need this one because that's water and that's oil, and it doesn't blend. Oil won't. If you put oil in there, it'll just float on top of the water and it won't seal." And I'm like,
I don't know.
I just told Bill Nye that oil and water won't. And he gave me that look like I'm a scientist. He was very nice. And I'm like, he's like, "Oh, thanks for your help." And there were a lot of people that I got to meet. Actually, I met Derek Frank, who I was on with him. Last time I was on the show, and he at the time, and he still is, bass player for Gwen Stefani, and I just moved to Burbank, and I helped him cash out and everything, and he was like, "Hey, you should go to the Viper Room. You're a bass player," and so that was probably my best connection that I met working there. But then I had maybe like 15, 20 fun people that I met, just like celebrities and singers and stuff like that, and actors and stuff. So that's cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I heard
nice guy.
I heard Bill Nye is really tall. Is that true?
Yeah, he's super tall and very skinny. And it was funny. It was just, I worked at the paint department. So I was just like, here you go. There's your wood stain. And, I'm trying to think. I met so many people. And it's just like, as a horror movie fan, my favorite person I met was Ted Raimi. He used to come in there, and he was like the co-creator of Evil Dead. And he was in like the latest Creepshow season on Shudder and everything. Cool. And it was funny because the people working there were like, who's that? I'm like, oh, it's Ted Raimi. And they're like, who? And it's so funny. But then like Steve Carell would come in, everyone would lose their minds, and I'd be like, whatever, But I met Ted Raimi. I was always into like the B-list people. Like Dana Gould came in. He was like he used to be a writer for The Simpsons, and he had a show Stand Against Evil and all this stuff. And he came in, and I'd be like, oh wow, this is crazy. And I got to meet him and talk to him over weeks. And then people would be like, who's that? I'm like, Dana Gould. They're like, oh, well, Melissa McCarthy's right there. And I'm like, I don't care. It was so funny the differences in like. But everyone kind of got to meet the people they idolized. It was really cool. It was a fun place to work.
I would love to meet Bill Nye.
Well,
actually, I did. I met him at a convention. No, I think about it. But
Bill
Nye.
Bill Nye.
Yeah.
Bill Nye. He's the man.
All right. Here's the next one. Danica.
All right. So, was his first car a Volkswagen bus? Is he terrified of walk-through haunted house attractions? Or does he own a guitar that was once owned by John Stamos?
Wow, man, crazy stuff here. Well, I know you love horror movies, so if you like being scared, then you'd probably like walking through a haunted house. I'm gonna go with number one. First car was a VW bus.
All right, Maddie.
Lonny, the truth is number two. I love horror movies. I love the aesthetic of it because I don't really get afraid. I don't get scared of horror movies. I can watch it. I love the filmmaking of it. I love the the special effects, just the ambiance of like the spookiness of it. When it comes time to like actually do it myself and get chased by some guy with a chainsaw and have people jump out at me and everything, I'm a baby. I can't do it.
Okay.
So I knew I was going to trip you up on that. And a lot of people like
you got me.
By that. Yeah, I don't really get scared of movies,
Something about like just being on your comfort of your couch or whatever makes it okay.
Yeah, I know that like, okay, there's not actually going to be a chainsaw wielding person chasing me by watching this movie, but you go through a haunted house attraction and that's exactly what happens. So it's like, I have a tour to happen. Don't kill me. I can do like the Universal ones. I do like horror nights, but that's more of like fun. If you've ever been there, it's like a giant group of people and it's all like scares that are all like on demand. They're all timed and everything. But I don't really consider that like a real walkthrough attraction. Any of the other ones, like I think it's like a different experience. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying like those are doable. It's more of like the amusement park version of it,
Yeah.
But the real like haunted house attractions, can't do them. I'm a baby.
Nice.
We're here to protect you. All right, here's the next one. All right. So, is Maddie second cousins with Conan O'Brien? Has he never seen The Godfather? Or is he ambidextrous but only when drawing? What do you think, Lonny?
Okay. What's my score so far? Am I 0 for 2?
Yeah. It's okay. It's totally fine.
So basically, I have to get the rest of them right to die.
You can do it. I believe.
Otherwise, you can't come back on the show ever.
Banned.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. I'm gonna say has never seen The Godfather.
Maddie.
That is correct. I've never seen The Godfather. So
that
caused like a giant thing on tour. We were picking a movie to watch, and they were like Godfather, and I'm like, oh, I've never seen it, and it was like a giant thing. Everyone's like, "You never seen The Godfather? Are you kidding me?" Like it was so, and it just. So now I'm like not watching it just out of spite. I'm like, no, I'm never gonna watch it. Like
I haven't seen it either.
Around to it. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. So yeah.
Cool.
So when I've been hanging out with like the Black Veil guys, they give me the hardest time for never seeing. I'm drawing another blank. What's the Adam Sandler one where he like plays hockey but he starts golfing?
Oh, Happy
Oh,
Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, Happy Gilmore. Haven't seen that.
It's
And
a fun watch.
That one's fun.
They like
Yeah.
threatened to kick me out of the band until I see that.
Well, then time to see Happy Gilmore.
That's what happened with me with Godfather. Everyone's like, it's so funny that people get so crazy about stuff like that.
Yeah.
They really.
Oh yeah,
Like,
these
I'll
guys
get
are
around to
they're so adamant. They like for them it's like the worst thing ever that I've never seen it. It's like I committed a crime, and I
Yeah.
still haven't seen it. It's been like 2 years.
No, don't say that. Say you've seen it. You know, keep your
Like,
job.
yeah,
Job
I saw it.
security.
It was whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, Danica, you want to do the next
All
one?
right, next one. So, does Maddie have a license for insurance sales and brokerage? Did he have an encounter with a ghost on a tour bus? Or has not eaten pork since 2012?
Okay, I thought it said poke, not pork.
Oh, Pokey. Yeah.
Is it pokey or poke?
I don't know.
Okay.
You say Pokey, and I say Pokey.
It's poke.
Same deal. Pokey sounds cooler. Okay. Wow, this is a tough one. It's real tough. I'm pretty sure you don't have a license for insurance and stuff because you went to recording school, right?
I did go to recording school.
So it wouldn't make sense that you did that and went to like brokerage school. I don't know. I mean, those bottom bunks can be pretty terrifying. Maybe you did have an encounter with a ghost on a tour bus.
No one wants to listen to ghosts, you know.
Sleeping right by the engine. I'll go with the hasn't eaten pork since 2012.
Maddie.
Nice. The truth is number one. It was
That's awesome.
after music production school. It's funny when you go to music school and you get a degree. Like if you get a degree from med school or something or law school, right? It's like, hey, I'm a lawyer. I can work. Hey, I'm a doctor now. When you get a music degree, it's like, oh, I guess I'm a musician. So right after college, I actually got a job at an insurance agency for maybe about like a year. And I ended up getting trained. I was selling insurance, managing policies, all that stuff. Took all the money and just threw it right into like recording gear and all that stuff. And did it for maybe like a year and a half. But I don't do it anymore, obviously. And I'd probably have to renew my license through New York State, which is where I was licensed. But yeah, I actually sold insurance. Believe it or not, the person with the eyeliner and the mascara and the purple hair right now sold like homeowners insurance and stuff. Like it's 5 years ago.
Good for you.
I'd buy it.
Yeah.
That's super cool, man. I respect that. That's awesome.
That was cool. And I knew it was going to trip you up.
Yeah, you got me. That was a good one.
This is our final one. All right, Lonny, here we go. Is his favorite film The Coneheads? Can Maddie ride a unicycle? Or
I hope so. I'd love to see that.
Or Maddie absolutely cannot ride roller coasters.
I'll say the roller coaster. That seems to be a thing that a lot of people have a hard time doing.
Maddie?
You're right. 2 out of 5 there. Can't do roller coasters. Maybe I could do one, but that'd be pushing it. Like forget it. I can't do it. Like we were at the Mall of America on tour. We had like the hotel that was connected right to Mall of America, which has like the indoor amusement park and everything, and there's all these roller coasters and rides and stuff. And I still went because I had to go hang out with like the band and the crew and, enjoy my time together. But I was the designated here, hold my cell phone kind of person, and they're all doing these giant roller coasters and loops and stuff. And they're like waving to me and I'm like, hey guys, how's it going? I'm on like the bench. Like, I get like crazy motion sickness on roller coasters. So.
That's my husband in the comments right now is saying whole lot of nope on roller coasters. He is the same way.
Really?
I'm just like, all right, bye. I'll be on the coaster. See you later, babe.
I'm also the kind of person that like, depending on the Uber driver, even like the Uber driver will put me over the edge. Like, especially like in the Hollywood Hills and stuff. It's like, oh boy, this is like, it's always hit or miss sometimes. It's like, hey, get an Uber. And it's like, oh, I forgot I got all these winding things through the canyon and all this stuff. And it's like, that was pretty much a roller coaster. Now I'm out for the rest of the night.
Benadryl
bit. Where he's back of a taxi cab. He's like, I'd never try that in my car.
To take it back to the tour bus one more time, like back to the tour bus one more time, you probably wouldn't like the top bunk because it's like that. You're swaying so much. It's like, you ever seen like the night bus in Harry Potter?
Oh yeah,
it's like that kind of thing. So
all over.
Stay with
I
the
hope
bottom.
no one in the band is watching this interview right now because they're like, hey, you know what? On the next tour, if we want to initiate Maddie, we just put him in the top bunk and he's done for, you know?
Put him on a roller coaster. Make him
Yeah.
watch The Godfather on the roller coaster.
I love roller coasters and I really want to go on that top bunk. Just to clarify, I really want that. I hope they don't put me on the bottom bunk.